Oh yeah, because you started off with like a black.
Yeah, and that's because my webcam is, I mean, obviously in the middle of my screen, coming down over the embedded camera. But I don't understand why it shifts. You know why
I'm not pixelated today.
you're not.
Uh,
You're very excited about that, aren't you?
um, I don't know why it shifts. It might be in the automation of the computer setup. Um, I
Yeah,
think
but
we had
I
discussion.
didn't change
You
anything.
don't have a great camera on your computer.
Wasn't that? Yeah, I'll have to go into it and check. Wasn't that fun to see how much money you can save?
It was, and what everyone here doesn't know is we kept on talking about this throughout the pretty much the entirety of the Business Growth Network meeting, um, which I think is great because we've done that whenever one of our particular members has needed it. When Rayanne was starting to put all her stuff together, we sat down and all talked about it, and those become like client avatars and resources for research. And going through and discussing all the objections to the sell. And it's very curious to me, as a very logically minded individual who still absolutely makes emotional decisions, how many decisions and roadblocks we put into place that seriously have absolutely nothing to do with the product, but as the salesperson, the marketer, you have to address them.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's why it was funny when you came back and said this isn't linear, and that's true. It's really not linear, but it's also kind of like um, let's take it out of what it is, right? Let's create an analogy. If all of a sudden Borden's Dairy puts out uh, the opportunity to save $1 on a gallon of milk, um, but the store says you can only use half the coupon or you only get half of that value or whatever, right? You don't question it. You just go, well, I'll take what I get, right? But all of a sudden it's like, well, wait a second, but it said it's $1. I want my full dollar. Well, sometimes you can get your full dollar, sometimes you can't, right? So here's the easiest way to understand it. Everything else is retail. This is wholesale. You get to save the difference. It's not really any
Like I said,
harder
I
than
think
that.
that objection that is so much, and I've seen this on agency items, I've seen this on consumer goods, I've pretty much seen this in every industry with every client, that you can actually, again, depending on your business, depending on you, depending on so many other factors, sometimes you can sell more at a higher price
Right.
because of perceived value.
Right.
Like I've actually heard like it's a running joke amongst like moms and even dads, how talking about how moms and dads parent different. A mom will turn around and go to her trusted vetted resource group, like these mom groups on Facebook, right? And we'll be like, okay, I have a new baby, which diapers do I buy and why? Like, here are the things that matter to me, blah blah blah. And the moms will be like, oh, I tried Huggies, and they were a great price, great material, like bang for your buck, no leaks. But I would never buy. Smell terrible, by the way. True story. Pampers is overpriced, and you have a ton of leaks. Or you can buy the Walmart brand, and it's plasticky, and your kid is going to get more, I don't know, diaper rash. If you tell a dad to go buy diapers, he walks into the store, analyzes the wall, finds the most expensive diaper, and buys that one. And
Yeah.
that's the mark of the good dad, the one that chose the most expensive diapers versus the really cheap diapers. So I think it's just those different buying psychologies,
Right.
understanding hyper specifically your ideal client, or taking from Steve Napolitan. I want to put an O at the end, but it's just Steve Napolitan, something like that. And he was talking about wow clients. And the nice part is when you understand who your wow client is, who your ideal client is, you don't have to worry about the objections of everybody else, just that one
Yeah.
client.
No, all that was tremendously helpful yesterday because, and you probably haven't seen it, but I made an 8-minute video. Sean and I talked about it yesterday. I made an 8.5-minute video yesterday afternoon that basically said, okay, I'm going to answer some. I said, we've been getting a lot of questions. And so here it is. Is it a scam? No. Do I have to sit through a timeshare presentation? No. Are there any blackout dates? No. Is this really as good as it seems? Yes, but prove it to yourself. So for the first 10 people that go to uplusonelifestyle.com and do a search, and then go to the captive site of the hotel, do the same search, jing the captive site picture, in other words, or do a screen share, and do a screen share of U+1 Lifestyle and the savings, post both those pictures on our Facebook page that says, hi, this is Jena. I'd like to have my $500 travel savings passport. Thank you. Let's go prove it for yourself. But post it, and the first 10 people that do will give away $500 in travel savings. So it was a interest. I mean, that was one of the things that we did immediately, because so it's really a for the discussion that happened yesterday, it really comes down to understanding what the true objection is and answering objections for those who aren't going to travel anyway is kind of like it. And there was one in the crowd yesterday that, if you notice, kept on, and I won't name names, but there was one in the crowd yesterday that, even though we would give an appropriate response to the question, there was always a caveat to the question.
Yes. Yes, that's all I can say. It's just
right, you agree with me. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, because
always going to be that person,
mm-hmm.
and you don't want those people, because.
Well, no, I mean, what it was a very great awakening of, okay. And I was talking to another organization yesterday who's going to be using the passports to raise money for nonprofits. And he said, can I share something with you? I said, of course you can. He said, I think internally we have this ability to make the really simple complex. And this program is really simple, but gosh, we're making it complex. And I said, and how is that serving you? And they said, well, it's not. I said, then why are you doing it? He goes, I don't know. But what it was is, again, kind of the theme for yesterday was the awakening that the objection is the objection, whatever the objection is. It doesn't have to, they're making it harder than it is. So what this really comes down to is luxury travel at wholesale prices. That's really what it is. If you have the choice to pay retail or the choice to pay wholesale, by what you know by those two words, which would you prefer?
So my background is interior design, and I remember walking the first time into the World Trade Center here in Dallas. For those who don't know what the World Trade Center is that is where stores go to buy their stuff.
Right.
So you can go in there, and especially as an interior designer, they love designers because we come in there every day versus just during shows that are like once, twice a year, right? Every piece of furniture is 50% off. Every single one of them. And so it was like a giant mall of everything a girl loves on sale, from clothing to furniture, and it ruins you because you figure out what the markup is, and the margins are anywhere from 2.5 on a lamp, so whatever it costs to get it to that point in the process, times that by 2.5. 2 is the lowest number. When it comes to female clothing, 7. So multiply whatever it costs to make an out like this shirt for female. If it costs the dollar, you sell it for 7. Some even more. They're considered high margin value items that you put by the counter. Men is 4 times. So wholesale, I can't even explain it. And I remember the absurdity. And I was sitting at Christmas, and my dad had proposed to my now stepmom, and she's showing off her diamond. And they sell diamonds. They have diamonds there in the World Trade Center.
Right.
And I just remember like exclaiming, and maybe it was out of place, I'll give it that. But I was like, Dad, why didn't you let me know? I would have taken you to the World Trade Center, and you could either bought twice the diamond or half the
price.
And I just remember the look on her face, like aghast. Like, here I am, I'm a Dallas girl. I am a Tiffany's, Cartier, Harry Winston kind of girl. And she looked, oh, I want the box to say Zell's.
Yeah.
And I nearly died, because Zell's is like the worst diamond distributor. They have the worst quality diamonds. And the part that mattered to her as a consumer was not the quality of the diamond or the clarity or even the price point or the investment. It was that there was a box that says he paid retail.
Yeah. No, I get it. And that's kind of what, I mean, yesterday was a very valuable day to sit with a group of people who could be that focus group and could fire any piece of information in whatever. And as you even commented yesterday, yes, there's an answer for every one of those. That does exist, right? But again, what we want to be able to do is get this point across the quickest, the fastest we possibly can. So we've got to communicate the information in such a way that, so again, that's why let's really simplify it. Retail versus wholesale. If retail is $1 and wholesale is 50 cents, you save 50 cents. That's what you're doing.
Like I said, some people need to say Zell's.
No, but here's what's funny. Here's what's funny is it comes in the exact same box. A Marriott is a Marriott.
It's literally the exact same box.
Yeah. It's funny.
And even at the World Trade Center, the only difference between box A and box B is Zales has bought the boxes, the same company from China, except they added, an emboss of the word Zales, right?
Right.
And you're paying, one of the first major job offers I was actually given was to be an interior designer just specifically for the light boxes at the Zale Corporation over in Irving.
Cool.
So they put more time and effort into the presentation and making you want to buy the box that says Zales. But if you did any research, you could buy it at wholesale, and people will still buy the one at full price because it has more trust.
Yeah. Well,
and
I mean,
overcoming that is, it's weird that it's huge, but I've found that it's the difference between the people who excel at life and the people who struggle at life.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, it's funny. It's like when you compare in the grocery store, you compare a name brand to a private label, right? Green beans.
Yep.
Pretty sure Tom Thumb is not growing their green beans. Pretty sure about that.
What?
Pretty sure they're getting their green beans from the exact same thing that has it in a branded. And so that's what's interesting to read. Read the ingredient sets or those kinds of things, right? Mm-hmm. We used to do this in the appliance business all the time because I was with a Manor Refrigeration, the most expensive, highest priced appliances, tremendous product, great product. Was it worth the extra money? It was dang worth the extra money. And then you would go but you'd be on a floor next to a Whirlpool. Okay. Good company. And then it would be sitting this would be at Sears, and it would be next to Sears, made by Whirlpool, right? And so, but
But it's different.
it was fascinating that how many times again, this is back in the day, Sears would romanticize the Whirlpool made product better than Whirlpool would romanticize their own product.
Isn't that amazing? And that still sticks to this day.
Absolutely. And so that's why
They're
we had
closing stores.
yeah, we had to be even better at telling our story. And so this is kind of like, we just got to get better at telling our story. That's all. No biggie. So what are you producing there?
So, and this is, I think, kind of what I want to make. I could be automated follow-up once they purchase to get them to purchase more, which by all means still needs to be done. But you showed me something yesterday that I thought would be very important to show the vast amount of people that would help the most amount of people first.
Right.
So right now I'm just creating a basic automation, and you'll see it's hard probably to read on here, but I'm adding wait times. So wait 7 days, wait 7 days, wait 7 days. So you showed me that your company, so very similar to MLM companies, marketers, anything where you're selling someone else's material, if they're doing a good job, they are providing you content that is usable to send to your people, because content is hard and it's expensive.
Right.
So you were thinking it was like a blog, right? Unfortunately,
blog or newsletter, either one.
Yeah. If you post this as a blog, a couple things. One, it will not help your SEO whatsoever. You could argue back and forth whether or not it would actually hurt your SEO, because it's the exact same material from one company to the next. I've seen that argued, man, a million different ways. It's terrible to copy internet or information and have it on multiple blog sites. Whether it hurts you or not, I don't know. If you're just providing material to help your direct consumers or your direct clients, and you're going to direct them there by your own social media, by your own emails to them, I think it matters less. However, ignoring all of that, what you can use this content amazingly for is going to be your email marketing. So over here,
that's my assignment, right? I gotta do all that.
Well, I'm going to get you started, right?
That's awesome.
So have the automation started. Let me go ahead and travel tip Tuesday. This way, you don't actually you can be sending out a regular Tuesday weekly email following up. And I'm going to actually go over here to make this active to this automation over here, where people were specifically signing up. So this is going to be the just following up campaign. The reason I'm adding it to this one, this is going to be the one after they purchase a passport, right?
Right.
Because the other one is speaker hacks. If they're getting speaker hacks, they care about something for speakers.
Right.
If they're signing up for a passport purchase, they care about travel. So I want to give the right person the right email. The person who wants speaker hacks may not care about a passport purchase. Now, you can offer the passport purchase or another lead magnet that's travel specific to your speaker crowd. And if they purchase, then they get it. But you need to, the biggest flaw in email marketing is blasting every single one of your contacts with an offer that is absolutely not applicable to them. You will watch them hit, unsubscribe, unsubscribe, unsubscribe all day long. So this way, people who purchase the passport, they get Travel Tip Tuesday. So nice. We're here, we're delivering on the promised information immediately. We've not created this sequence. I've got all sorts of follow-ups. Instead of ending this automation, before I end it, I'm going to add a condition, contact that says add a tag. Nice. Travel Tuesday. So that's just adding a tag. It's letting me, whenever I go into that person, I'm going to see they're a travel person immediately if I can't already tell it by the other ones. The other thing that's going to happen is this Travel Tip Tuesday automation is going to trigger because whenever Travel Tip Tuesday is added as a tag, this sequence starts. The very first sequence or very first piece that's the most critical, the name of the email is Travel Tip Tuesday. If it shows up on Wednesday, you look stupid. It definitely doesn't look customized, right? Or it looks like you've been drinking a little gin in the morning. So this particular stop point is going.
Was a long motivational Monday. Is that what you're saying?
It was an extra special motivational Monday. But this one is going to wait till the current day of the week, specifically in the contacts time zone, is Tuesday, and their current time is also 10 a.m. Nice. So I want it to be a Tuesday in their country. You have the capability, hyper specifically with travel, to reach out to people who are in Australia who might be on Tuesday while we're still on Motivational Monday drinking our gin. The other issue is time. If I send something out my time Tuesday at 8 a.m., like I said, Australia is receiving it on a different day versus Hawaii, versus all these different time zones. The other issue is 10 a.m. is very specific. I wish Active Campaign would let me send it at like 10:23. That would be even better for me. I'm hoping that there's kind of a lag, little bit micro lag in how fast the emails get sent out, especially as your list grows to 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. But I do not want to be part of the morning purge where people delete. I want to come in later in the day when the little notification pops up on my screen and it looks more organic, right? Everything's about looking human, right? Even when we're doing bots. All right. Oops. This one is going to come from U+1. Go ahead.
That's fabulous that you can hit their time zone, hit that, hit a good open time, hit all those different things. I mean, that's impressive.
But I want to do, how did I do it last time? I want to go over here and I want to find a good template. So Active
That's what I was going to ask you.
Had,
so if you remember what we had there, right? We have the Travel Tip Tuesday header, right? So we had a graphic that we can pull together. We've got the actual content for the messaging available to us. And then what we can do now is put a consistent contact us or course of action, call to action, right? At the bottom. So that's what you're looking for with this template, correct?
Yeah, I'm looking for one that I like to start with because I want it to be an example. Like it's really easy for me to come build one of these from scratch because I do it all the time, right? For those who do not build it all the time, no one wants to do that. But you can come in here. I don't recommend using their templates outright because they're not appropriate for everybody, right? But I do recommend starting from one that you generally like and modifying it to fit what you're doing. So I
really like that idea of, and again, this not only for the novice with all this, but I mean, even if you know a little bit, isn't it, it's just time savings, and it's uniformity and it looks good and
Exactly. So I'm going to put on the Facebook right here, everyone is all typically inclined to use their Facebook business page, especially when you're an affiliate. If you have a Facebook group of any sort, I recommend actually putting your Facebook group up here. I don't want to share to a network. I want to open link to that network. Of course, it turns them all on now, right? I got to go turn them all off. So here's Facebook. Oops, I want that one on. You're not really active on Twitter. LinkedIn is this, since this is not a personal email, I don't want to send it to you or Sean. Google Plus, they're figuring themselves out. They're deciding what they want to be when they grow up. Let's go to you. Plus. YouTube. Let's see if I can get YouTube in. I think I did it. Oh, I got Passport. I think I may have gotten yours.
Hey, it's me.
I know. U+1 Passport. Oh, that's Scott Schilling. I thought U+1 had a.
We do. We just haven't loaded it. When you. There it is. See? U+1 community. Look at that.
What you can do is I'll show you another application. I might have to actually look it up. It will automatically take videos from your personal page, personal Facebook page, and your business Facebook pages, and automatically upload them to YouTube.
Wow. That would be awesome.
That's what we're using for this double funnel TV. I was overwhelmed at the concept of having to, on top of actually doing this live every day, which I want to, because one, it's to keep me sharp, two, it forces me to verbalize and help other people. But
it's fun because Randy joins us.
Oh, I know, right? But the concept of having to download it from Facebook, which, by the way, major pain in the tushy, and then turn around and upload it, which, by the way, upload speeds on the internet, way different than download speeds, and then go through and SEO and search optimize and create a thumbnail and do all that stuff on top of everything. I was just like, I just can't do it. And Neil and the guys at Kyvio, they were like, hey, we're friends with the developer of this app. Use our stuff. And I was like, oh, you've got to be, like, that exists?
Yeah.
How did I not know about what Twitch is? But I think I can do the same thing with Twitch, which would just, boom, make me so happy. Again, I don't even know what Twitch is. Let's see, Randy said he lost it there for about 10 minutes or 10 seconds.
10 seconds. He's back.
I must be the comedic input.
Randy.
I agree.
You, Randy.
I agree. I like when Rayanne comes on too. And Sean, oh my gosh, Sean's a riot.
Yeah, he hasn't slept in months.
Okay, so I've had completely honest, full disclosure, it's been a very rough week, personally speaking. And I was just not able to sleep last night. It's 4 a.m. and I like 3:30, I gave up. I was like, you might as well grab your phone, Jenna, and maybe the light will hurt your eyes enough to make them fall asleep. And I'm on there and I commented on something at 4 a.m. Or no, I didn't even comment. I get a notification at 4 a.m. and it's Sean commenting on our video from yesterday. I'm like, what?
That does not shock me.
Patreon. What Patreon is.
Yeah.
Website. They've already gotten the travel passport if they're getting this. So I do kind of want to direct them to a website. For the moment, I'm just going to send them to the Kyvio one. I do want to eventually want to domain map that.
Yeah, we're going to. Did you? Well, the thing to do would be to take our existing Kartra sequence and flip it over. And I don't know if that's just I don't know if that's an easy process or not as easy process.
What do you mean Kartra sequence? I don't know what that means.
In other words, we had started building pages. Remember, we had started building pages over there. But to take and move all of that into Kyvio. Everything that we've built over there, because we have
in short, I'm going to say yes.
We have mapped all that to the U+1 domain. We have done domain mapping with that because we did that prior to starting this project with you. So
in short, I'm going to say yes. Worst case is you do 5013 or 401 redirects. That's a web guide redirect to use. The other one is if you go to the wrong page. So let's say uplus1.com/doesn't exist anymore, right? It automatically redirects you to in Kyvio to the page you want it to redirect you to, whether that be the home page, that whether it be a lead magnet page, it'd be a funny 401 page like where the dog is crying, going page doesn't exist again, but here's an offer to make you happy. There's those sorts of things that you can do.
Well, the reason for doing all that, obviously getting it over into Kyvio, would to have the consistency of look and feel and all that. I mean, we want this obviously to all be cohesive, but you had two chuckleheads creating this who are speakers, trainers, authors, consultants, and then we have the opportunity to work with the wonderful Miss Jena. So, I mean, it's a, you know
what?
By the way, Sean and I both voted yesterday. You're better at this than we are. We did vote that. You had both votes.
Oh my goodness!
No, I mean we're pretty good at the copy and this, the stuff like that. But actually, the sequencing and the different, all these things are really important. And so it just goes to show you how important it is to work with the right people doing the right stuff. Let them handle their lane and go like a bat, right?
And man, I have to remind myself that all the time. I'm that type of person who wants to do everything on my own. And we were talking about it in the group yesterday. I mean, there was a time I was so introverted. I'm literally military trained to shut the conversation down. Like, what did you do yesterday? Nothing. What do you do for a living? Computers. How's your day? Fine.
Awesome.
You have to learn how to undo that by going and watching people that aren't like that.
Yep.
And trusting them. And I was one of the things that I said to when I was speaking at the partner group on Thursday at Digital Marketer, is I gave them a couple of reference to the first two books that a true mentor recommended to me, and I had zero freaking clue. Like, one, I didn't even want to be in his class. I was completely annoyed because I thought he was going to show me how to use the library. And then two, he's recommending these books, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. He had me read Think and Grow Rich first.
Good book,
right?
Great book, actually.
I'm reading it, and I'm like, dude, remember, I'm very literal. I'm just out of the military. And I'm like, this guy is crazy. But you go with it, right? And you take a leap of faith, and I was explaining to him that's how most things are. I'm in one spot and someone's doing better than me, and they recommend something in good faith. It's worth a try.
Yep.
What is going on here? Is that actually a word? I don't think I've ever. That's a picture.
What's a picture?
That modernist. I thought that was a word I could just modify. It's an actual logo. Right, so
oh, really?
Yeah. I'm going to change this then to be our color if I can. There we go.
I'm just sending you all sorts of fun stuff here.
I saw my phone blowing up.
That's me.
Now I know the reason. Okay, so I'm going to change this picture out just to keep it simple, type of stupid. Did we not ever? Oh, here we go. U+1 travel. I'm waiting.
We've got so many. I got so many pictures I can send you with logos.
I just want the logo. I can't believe we just don't have a regular logo already uploaded into it.
Which logo?
You want to pull it for me and send it to me? Just a U+1 or a U+1 lifestyle.
I can send you both. That's easy.
I'm going to leave this picture actually download. Save image to download. We're going to put it in the on travel. As I lose my voice.
That's not good.
See how that looks. Cool. The little U+1 logo right there. Break from your daily routine. Lots of words. Let's add a little padding here. Is the only thing we're missing. Padding is just the space. And I heard somebody in reference to musical instruments say you have to play the pause. Space is important.
Play the pause.
Play the pause.
I like that.
That there's just because there's not a note doesn't mean it's not something that should be done very intentionally. We're going to just go ahead and delete this content because you have a long line of content.
It's going to feel bad doing that.
Deleting?
Kidding.
I would much rather delete on an email than have to build it.
I know. I'm just kidding. God, you get so touchy.
We get touch. Everyone is touchy when it comes to their thing. Imagine somebody telling you how to do sales and they start.
Oh, no, you didn't. You're not going that way on me, are you? All of a sudden, you're going to do things like that?
What do I want to say at the beginning and all?
Oh, there it was.
Oops. Travel tip Tuesday. I'm going to say big button.
There, take that. Don't ever ask me for logos.
Are you having a moment?
Well, I know what I sent you already, so.
I'm going to pull the Facebook group. So that is going to be the main call to action, I think, for all the regular stuff.
See,
is just get in the Facebook group.
That. That's cool.
Why am I not seeing? I want to make the corners round. Margin all sides.
Of
the button. Font style. I know it can be done. I'm just missing it. Oh, radius. They call it something different in this one.
Oh, look at how much nicer that is.
Just so it kind of has like, I don't know, it looks like a button.
Yeah, no, I think that's cool.
All right, there's that. So that'll be the words, and then we're gonna duplicate this. So anytime you need another headline, you just hit the duplicate button and use the little X crosshairs and add it below. Let's go ahead and give this one a little padding so when you do that on your own, it looks normal. So this is just adding space between the paragraph and the next thing. There we go. So when I duplicate this one, again, you just put it under the next one. And you can keep on doing that for as long as the email is. So in this case, you have your main one, 1, 2, 3, 4. By using these tips as guidance, you can better organize and I can stay in this. So that they have a call to action, ready to explore destinations. That's not clickable.
It was. Actually, here, let me, wait.
No,
I got it open up.
I just, I think it's interesting that the web version doesn't click. That's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, but we can make that clickable Make it u+1lifestyle.com/demo.
What would be the from all the emails? Like, do you want, I mean, did people think of really of a demo?
Well, there really is a demo. Well, I mean, you tell me. I'm just saying what we have available. I mean, it's already built.
In these value added ones, I'm more or less just going, I want them to be in the Facebook group.
Okay, then.
I want them to start conversations. I don't want it to be salesy.
Okay, so if you want to do that, then wouldn't you want to modify that copy to join the Facebook group?
You kind of cut out there, and it would be like you're asking something.
Well, yeah, no, I was saying, wouldn't we want our call to action then to be the Facebook group as opposed to, look for trips kind of thing?
Yeah, it is. It says share them in the Facebook group.
Got it. Okay. Well, it's pretty small print and on this end, not on your end. Got it. Never mind. I'll just sit here quietly.
So I have a little title here that says, what are your thoughts? The idea being, I want to try to start a conversation here. Why is there so much padding on the top? Don't need that much padding. What are your thoughts? Share them in the Facebook group. Very clean, very modern. What is this? Is this a spacer? That's when I click on it. It is just a space.
It's just a spacer? Get rid of it. Be gone. Be gone, spacer.
I'm telling you. Okay. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. We're going to drag these down here. I probably should have just put one on the bottom and duplicated that one. That would have made a lot more sense. I do things the hard way.
Makes sense the way you're doing it.
Both work more, as my very crude uncle would say, more than one way to skin a cat. All right, there we go. So that is pretty much, then you can just copy, paste, and match style from when you have all these different pieces.
Yeah.
Template to you. Oh, this is why we pay attention.
Why? Why do we pay attention?
I forgot the logo. Remember, you sent them to me by Facebook.
Yeah, which one?
Oh my goodness. Okay, do you want Travel Club, Lifestyle, You Post One, or Two Minds, One Heart?
Well, if this is, well, that's why I sent it all to him. This is really lifestyle. I mean, the travel passport is really under lifestyle. U+1 lifestyle.
Let me just, for the sake of future efforts, I'm just going to download them all.
Well, that's why I sent them to you.
Outstanding.
So see, look at that. There's one that sends it to the u+1.com. There's one for Travel Club. Think of a name. Think of a word underneath. We probably already have that logo. U+1 recommends. U+1 mentors. U+1 training network. Why? Because we're thinking ahead. We're creating the map. Now we're building to it.
I like that. That's what Kyvia is doing. They're doing everything smart products. So smart funnel, smart products, smart email, smart this, smart that. And one of the things that I have been lacking in doing these live is I want to focus on the smartpreneur. And we were kind of hinting at that concept earlier, talking about if you can buy something at wholesale versus retail, wouldn't you? Yeah. That is almost the defining definition of the smartpreneur versus the entrepreneur who's just failpreneur. Is that an option? Like, since the majority of people fail at their businesses?
Yeah.
You can go
Such a
spend.
nasty tag to put on people. I agree with you. I mean, the Small Business Association will tell you that 92% of all entrepreneurial businesses fail in the first 5 years.
That's rough. That is rough.
That is rough. There's a lot of padding around that logo, so if you want to, I mean, it's built that way. I don't know why she built it that way.
Logo designers are funny like that. They like specification.
So yeah, I mean they're all built 2550 by 2550, and so.
Okay, then I'm gonna move this block. Oops, that's not how you move things. All right. You know what? It said, "I got you."
Go ahead. I dare you to move me.
It gave me all. It undid everything. It said, "I got you." All right, 0 on all counts, and then we're going to move it the proper way. I get confused, like going from Kyvio to Active Campaign, which kind of movements. I'm actually, see if I can put it on the side here. I'm going to get complicated. Don't want
wow.
it. Yeah, I like that. I want this to be on the side too. This is why I like templates. There we go. And then I can come over here.
Make that bigger.
Yeah. And then add some padding here.
Nice. Look how pretty that looks.
Oh, that's padding on all sides. Padding on all sides means it does everything at the same time instead of just one direction.
That looks cool down there. That looks awesome there.
There we go. What are your thoughts? Share them in the Facebook group. Sender info, unsubscribe option. I do want to save and exit. The only thing I want to do now, why does it look like that?
Why does it look like what?
One, I want to rename it. Travel Tuesday. Template. Categories.
And in theory, I can grab any of those header pictures with Travel Tip Tuesday in and replace that header that exists.
So here's what I was looking to do. I wanted to see it. So this shows the desktop version. So if somebody's on a web browser like I'm on now, right, versus somebody's on a mobile phone. So obviously all those different padding, so side padding and I want to call it north and south, top and bottom padding looks different when we're on a mobile phone.
True. Very cool.
So everything's a little different. But be okay with whatever, check the mobile view, especially if you have a lot of formatting like this one does. That's why when I'm working with personal emails, like it's coming from you or it's coming from Sean, it's more transactional. We're actively trying to move some. We're not trying to resegment, re-engage, entertain, engage, excite, whatever. We are actually trying to move somebody from one stage in the customer value journey to the next stage in the customer value journey. I don't put a lot of formatting. I'll still do like a signature kind of piece there at the bottom because that's still considered very normal in our regular email communications. But I don't want a lot of formatting on the body and the copy. I want it to look almost as if you're actually just getting a regular email. Some marketers, Jeff Walker does this. Who else does it a lot? Pretty much anybody who follows Jeff Walker. It's like no formatting whatsoever except links. It is all plain text. And they will even change the margin to be mobile optimized, like it's made for mobile and you see it that way on your desktop.
Really?
Yep. And so it's like the skinny line because that bigger chunk of text, people just doesn't work well. It's just one way. Some people use it, some people don't. People make money both ways. People fail at business both ways. So business is more than just any one singular action that you're taking. All right, so now that we have a template, I'm going to go send an actual email.
That's awesome.
Email me.
So we can test that at any time, right?
What do you mean?
Like you're doing. You're creating an email and sending it, right?
Oh, you can start people as soon as we set it up. So this particular one is, I'm going to put this in the non-visible name. I actually kind of like that. So that way I know which one it is and I can keep track. I am starting at the top and I'm going to go left, right, left, right, left, right. So when you start to go finish these, you know where I started. And I noticed the new ones come at the bottom.
Actually, they're mixed in alphabetically is what I found.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
there's a mix of old and new. It's not necessarily in sequential order. It's in alphabetical order by header.
But this one says
seemingly.
best when it's down at the.
Well, I know, but that's weird. So that is a new piece of information. So possibly you're right that there was an original sequence and then they threw the next sequence in behind it. But that's, I don't know. Now I don't know.
I wonder if they went back and said, we're going to put all the ones we've already done in here, and those are the ones that are alphabetical.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know the answer to it.
So here's the one that I would recommend. Spend a couple hours and put every single one of them in. And then whenever a new one comes in, only immediately worry about putting the next one in.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I thought is, let's create a working pattern. So if it's left, right, top to bottom, right, is start to put them in that order. Clean them up, tweak them, put them in that order. Yes.
As long as you don't duplicate.
And then when a new one comes in, well, here's the point is, when a new one comes in, they'll actually be sent that new one out of the other system, because the only way you get that is if you buy it. But if you haven't bought anything, in other words, they don't go retroactive. We would go retroactive. It's something that we could do, is to give people more information because we have this existing content. Am I making sense in what I'm saying there?
It does.
So my point is, they'll get the new ones because they've made a purchase or because they've activated their passport. Once they activate their passport.
When they activate their passport.
When they activate their passport, they go into the home company's system to do this in our behalf.
Okay. I would say, given that information, then, since they're going to be getting this information once they activate their passport, is I would say then, today, take a few hours while you're watching TV tonight and put every single one of these emails in the system, right? And then after those are all done, and so you know which ones are in there, right?
Right.
They come in and you and Sean start personalizing them.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I'll do, I'm going to finish up this email real quick so you can see how easy it is. I'm just copying that over there.
Right.
I'm coming over here, selecting the text, and I very specifically, though, and this is important, edit, paste, and match style. That is important.
Got it.
So you can copy paste the header, copy paste the text, and do this all day, and all the formatting stays nice and pretty.
That's pretty.
You do have to use specifically that paste and match style.
Got it.
If not, it will bring in the formatting where it's located at. And this goes from whether you're working in Microsoft Word or Pages or a website or any of that, it has formatting on it.
Yep.
Don't want that.
Good piece of learning there.
The nice part about when you have these kind of company provided emails is they're written well, right? They're by big company. They had editors, preview, things are spelled correctly. The information is good. They've hired someone who's in the travel market, who's well-traveled in theory, or at least has done a lot of good research into the travel.
Mm-hmm.
So utilize that information that you've been given. Somebody who is good at sales has already hired somebody to write this contract. Use it.
That's why
That sounds
when
so
we were
simple.
talking, that's why when we were talking yesterday, this all made so much sense, right? To put it back out there to serve the greater good. I liked it.
So yeah, focus on, so because you're calling it the same thing, all the words match. All the buttons down here are good. All the sender info that's necessary for CAN Spam Act is taken care of. That's all you have to do is literally copy paste and import the new image to do the image. Where did I start? Achieve your travel goals. Okay, they used a different image.
Well, they use a different image on the smaller one, but see how the block images all are customized.
Yep. So it's just save image to downloads, and then come over here, hit new image, add new image here. While you're in the U+1, click on the recent download. Make sure it goes in the U+1 travel folder. And this new one will pop up, and you just choose that one, and it changes. So you could literally go through if you wanted to. You'll probably get confused if you did it because there's so many. But you could upload those all at one time. I recommend doing them one at a time because if not, they'll get lost. And you'll start repeating, and they're so pretty. Look at that background. Who doesn't want to go there? That's amazing.
I know. That's the coolest part. I was talking to somebody about that yesterday afternoon. They said, "Why do you like travel so much?" And I said, "All you got to do is go to any of these places and see them, and you get it. If you've never been somewhere and you see it, you just go, wow, that's pretty. It's just it's nice. Change of scenery is just cool."
All right. Right now, I have it coming from you. I like it better as from you and Sean since it's more of an affiliate type thing.
Yeah.
Tends to have better deliverability if it's from a human being and it's not like support or a company. Like the system recognizes there's two names and it's a normal name with a normal email address. So what you can do, because your name is not actually inside the email. See, all that looks good. I've got the reply to.
Is it from Scott at u+1.com?
No, Scott Schilling.
But I mean, I would put it from Scott at u+1 just to, again, more consistency.
Didn't know you had that.
Yes, ma'am.
Here we go. U+1 with no D.
.com.
Yep. Do that on both the reply to.
Yeah.
Something that you'll want to do, make sure it's available at your level. So that looks good. You passed the spam check.
Nice.
Link tracking, good. We're going to finish it up. So what I would say, since there's two of you, is the next one that comes from you should be skip one.
The
like third
one?
Yep, make one from you, make one from Sean. And right here, in between each one, you're just coming up here, conditions and workflow, wait time, specific period of time, and you're just changing that to 7
days.
And you can save. And in each one of these bubbles, you just click plus, sending options, send email. I'm going to change this to, create new email. Travel
Airport later.
tip number 2. Copy it. Create. Select that Travel Tip Tuesday design. Copy paste. That looks good since it's replicating the last one. And hit continue.
Very cool.
So, I mean, obviously, I still put that from Scott. That one should be from Sean. You'll have to change all that. I'm going to go ahead and save and exit and just have you know that you need to go through and do that to all of them.
Yep.
And like I said, from you, from Sean, kind of go back and forth. After they're all in, go through and add a little personalization to the first week for everybody that's from you or from Sean. Does that make sense?
First week or every week?
Okay, first paragraph.
That's right.
On every week. Yeah.
Right. That's
that way, like this
paragraph on every one.
Yeah, that space under the black headline where we've got a little paragraph, make that a little personal. Like, you know, I've traveled all over the world and I was in New Guinea and I figured out this, right? Just something that, you know, tells a little bit more of a story. But if you sit there and do that back and forth,
this happened. So that.
And that way you can start building. What was the word? Andrew, and I'm not going to remember his last name right now. He's a veteran and he works in PR. And he was talking, I want to say like para relationships. I might be getting that wrong this morning. Again, I read it like at 4 a.m. So, but talking about how does one person, like a speaker, build a relationship with 1,000, 6,000 random people in the audience?
Got it.
How does Tony build a relationship with everybody? And this is your way in email to start building that relationship, sharing vulnerability, sharing stories that people can relate to inside your email. If it's completely canned, you don't do that.
Got it.
Is that fair?
I love that idea. Yeah, sounds great.
Let's say we got Randy here, who's does she rank higher than Ted Cruz? I don't want to go there. Politically divisive. No politics. No politics on Double
That's
right. They don't make any money unless you're in politics.
So I sent you, just so you know, I also sent you links to those other pages that have been built so that you can just take a quick look at them and see if that is an easy move over to Kyvio or a more complex.
Okay, let me.
Again, you don't have to.
Facebook?
I sent them by, Messenger.
In Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay. How many pages is that?
I don't know. I mean, the last one is funny. Sean Early built it last night. The Test Drive 500 came out of yesterday. I mean, look at that one real fast if you want to. But that's the one that came out of that conversation yesterday in the video I produced.
So what are we taking you to, a video?
Yes, that one does.
Okay.
Yes.
And
then that's the one that kind of gives you a challenge to go to.
What's the point of this video?
Which one?
This one. Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's a testimonial for somebody who's saving 56% on her hotel expenses. Again, you got to understand when you're bootstrapping, when you're out there doing stuff, you take, all of a sudden you have a client who calls you and says, "Oh my God, I'm saving so much money. I couldn't believe it. Now I believe it. I want to create a video for you."
So here's, I'll give you my opinion of this page real quick. I love the fact that there's a testimonial. This is supposed to be a landing page to get your email address, right?
Correct.
Like, so the top part of the page, the above the folds. Okay, let me Let me go show this because it seems weird if I'm just talking about that. The above.
Well, but again, this is why you're around.
I know. That's explaining it. I'm not saying you're terrible. It's more like for the audience. You have the above the fold with a testimonial with no context. So the idea is that the point that somebody's giving you their information, they know very, very little about you, and you're throwing a testimonial out there. You're saying this offer won't last long, but you don't actually have an offer. There's no exchange of money. It's just an email address. Now you can say this opportunity maybe, but that's not true, right? It doesn't matter. Like, I like this. It doesn't matter how you found this page. What does matter is that you get to the next page to start to leverage this 10x reward, whatever. You have register now here, show me how here. So I've got 2 competing buttons. I've got $500 in travel savings. I didn't know that there's nothing here. I mean, this is talking about how, right here, 1 to 10x your success, hit show me how right now. And then I've got $500 in travel savings, and these are incongruent. I'm thinking 10x my success. I have a whole different idea of what that is going to be when I get to the next page. And I've got this header up here that says $500 in travel savings. To me, that hits, like we were talking about, kicking off those like scam alerts and red flags. One, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know what I'm opting into.
Right. And that's why my point is, you're looking at a couple guys who have a desire to serve the market the best they possibly can. So we put something together the best we possibly could. There are people that are better at it, like you, right? So, but that's the again, this is, we'll dive on the sword. We'll be vulnerable here and say we jacked it up, right?
Again, though, you're a business owner. Like that was, man, one of the biggest reasons I wanted to, because the same skill that it took him to build that, if people knew some basic concepts of what they're missing, what the parts that they're getting wrong, then it wouldn't be such a big deal.
Right, which is why we'll dive on the sword. We did this. I mean,
that's like the handshaking. We were talking about handshaking. Yeah, everyone used to be very dainty. I would just put my hand out there, and it was like the most girly handshake ever, like princess handshake.
Right.
And that's fine when you're not in business, but to someone who knows how to, like, I used to get called out by professional handshakers and networkers all the time. They're like, your handshake sucks. I'm like, stop squeezing my hand.
Right. That's my point. My point is we all have our areas of expertise, and many times entrepreneurs will the only way to get feedback is to take action. So we took action. Now, that's why I'm sharing it with you, because we're getting you are doing such a great job for U+1 and for the audience here, seeing the difference. I'm sharing how we jack things up, not purposely. I mean, we're doing what we believe to be the right thing at the right time, the right way. And if there's do we know there's a better way? Of course we know there's a better way, but we're doing the best way we know. So we don't know what we don't know until we know it. It's what I say in training all the time, right?
Yeah.
That's why you work with mentors. That's why you work with business partners who have specific areas of expertise to, again, while people come to me and say, how do you do some things in marketing? And I share yes, you need to have a landing page that then goes to this, it goes to this. That's why I want to have my trusted vetted resources. While I know that you need to do this, this, and this, the person to execute that better for you is Jena, not me. And you understand how this all works. That's why we're working to create the trusted vetted resource network. Is how do we create a consortium because we all have the desire to serve the marketplace better. We all share in that desire. Well, then let your ego get out of the way and say, okay, we got something up there. In other words, we act fast. The one thing we do is we take action. We don't sit around and think on an idea. You said something yesterday, create a video. I came and created an 8.5-minute video. When I sent it to Sean and said, what do you think? He put it into a page and sent it back to me and said, I think so much of what you did that I think we should have this page. Now, is my video the best video ever? Probably not. Is his page the best page ever? Probably not. But when you have a vetted, trusted resource network that you then share it with, okay, here's the kind of you can see our thought process and what we're trying to do with it. Now make it pretty. Now make it work better. Right?
Another thing that y'all might consider, and we can create a template for this, it does require the video being uploaded to YouTube, but sometimes
boy, that's hard.
I know, right? We discussed this. But offering it ungated, but on one page that is pixeled so that you can turn around and retarget them on Facebook with an actual offer.
Fine to do it however it's best. I mean, that's the point.
Test it. Test it gated, test it ungated.
Well, but that's why I sent you the links. So take a look at them and tell us that we're jacked up, right? Let us know. Yeah. What? Coffee is not for losers. That is wrong. Coffee is good.
Closers. Coffee is for closers.
I thought, well, I didn't see the C.
Oh,
so, isn't it interesting? Isn't that interesting?
The girl that's tiny, the letters wrapped around my body.
Isn't it interesting that if you get rid of the C in closers, it's losers?
Oh no!
Wow. No, I don't. I'm trying to think of something clever now. Now I'm going to work on that all day. Anyway, the whole point is the reason. Yeah, the reason for sharing the pages that we've built is so I think you can follow our thought process. It could actually be that we're hampering our own efforts, not purposely. Nobody does, but you have to get your ego out of the way and say, okay, you're better at this than I am. Take a look. Tell us how we're jacked up. I mean, what you just said makes all the sense in the world. Just having two buttons on there or having the testimonial in the wrong place. But see, we see somebody going, I saved 56% on my hotel rooms. Oh my God, thank you. And we're like, let's get that in front of people as quickly as possible. Because we didn't ask for that to be made. So if there's a better spot or a better way, anyway, we want to throw that all into Kyvio anyway. It just happened to be the tool. It's the tool that we had available to us as we started building all that stuff. So I'd love for you to look through that sequence and tell us how messed up it is. But more importantly, fix it.
What I will need, in addition to those links, is I don't know where that video is linking to.
YouTube. Depends on which videos. I'm pretty sure we posted them all on YouTube, but I'm not sure.
Okay. I mean, unlisted.
Yeah, I think it's an unlisted YouTube. I think.
Okay. Well,
again, sometimes Sean and I do. Sometimes we do this together. Sometimes I do a portion of it, send it to him, and then he does a portion of it. So it's hard to. This is called entrepreneurialism at its finest. This is ready, fire, aim. Go like a bat out of hell. Just keep on great stuff.
Hey, I understand. It's 10:16. We had lots of great information. I hope, if nothing else, you learned how you can easily take the stuff, like if you're selling someone else's product, either through an affiliate or an MLM, how you can take all the great information they have and put it in your own system to nurture your own customers. I hope that was helpful.
I like that.
Very helpful.
Don't reach helpful for everyone.
That's right.
That's right.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a great, wonderful Tuesday.